Hello, everyone. Look who is here.
Man,
Little man in our
he's come Earthside a bit early. Didn't want to wait any longer.
yeah.
So yeah, hey, just
You know,
chilling.
I actually on the 6th, that was a Saturday, right?
Yes.
So that Saturday night, I remember just going, oh, I wonder if Chantel's on labor right now. I literally said to Paul. And then when you let me know, I was like, oh my God,
You
maybe I
knew.
was tuning in.
Yeah, so you weren't far off because what was the fifth is what you predicted.
I predicted
And
the 5th. When did you go into labor?
so I went into labor at 1:30 in the morning on the 6th. So you were so close.
Oh my God. This is what I've been dying to know because I'm like, okay, did she go on labor on the 5th? Was I on to something? But yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, I
Wow.
could have gone into labor on the 5th. I probably did, but I started noticing things at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, started getting contractions at 1:30 in the morning, which was like what they describe it, just like period cramping.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah. So I was kind of like, oh, is this it? Isn't it? I was just trying to ignore it because from what I have uh like heard from other podcasts that I was listening to, they say like the best thing to do is just try to ignore it for as long as possible.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like gaslighting myself a bit, being like, you know, is this it? I don't know. Let's just like keep going. And it was probably around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning that I was like, okay, these are starting to get a little bit uncomfortable, like a little bit more than like my standard period cramping. Um, but it was like they weren't consistent or anything. They were just like all over the place.
Random.
Yeah, just random. Um, And it was probably around, I don't know, maybe lunchtime that things were like starting to get like I'd have to like not fully focus, but I'd be like, okay, this is not comfortable at all. And I would be like on all fours, just like moving around whenever the contraction came. And it was
Yeah.
lasting like, I don't know, 20, between 20 and 30 seconds. And it was so frustrating because I'd be like, okay, we're starting to get like a consistent rhythm. And then it would just go haywire. And I would like get one like 20 minutes later. So I was like,
Right.
oh, because in the back of my mind, it's river fire and
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, I don't want to have to like go into the hospital at peak hour of
Oh
river
my
fire.
God. Yes. I didn't even think of that. When you're saying River Farm, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. But then your hospital was literally in the city. So, okay. That is
Yeah.
hard to consider. Yeah.
Yep. So I definitely had that in the back of my mind. So when the contractions went a little bit like not stagnant, but they kind of like slowed down a little bit, and it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I was like, um, okay, I'm gonna take these homeopathic drops that I got given, which is to help with your labor, like stalls or slows down. So I took one of those for the like just because I like of river fire.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have been, just letting it my like
Yeah.
labor just take its course and be like, okay, if it stalls, it stalls, whatever. Um, and then it was like what 4:30, 5 o'clock, and we were starting to yeah, I think it was like 4:30 or something. And I was starting to get like consistent contractions every like 5, 6 minutes that went between 30 and 40 seconds. So I was like, okay, this is starting to get
Ooh.
like consistent. We should probably go to the hospital because we don't know what traffic's going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
How'd you go in the car?
well, luckily, my labor stalled in the car.
Because I know you're a
because
little bit nervous about that. You're like imagining yourself. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's good.
Oh yeah, because it took us an hour to get into the hospital because of the traffic.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I was so glad that it stalled because I think I got maybe two or three contractions in the car, and I'd put my because I borrowed my friend's TENS machine, and didn't try it out beforehand, but I did like watch YouTube videos on how to use it. So I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
all good. And she showed me how to use it, and when she used it, it worked. Well, when I got in the car, for some reason it wasn't working. I'm like, great, this is just perfect. But I had my birth comb.
I don't know what
Um,
it is. Is it a comb or a cone?
it's literally like a hair comb. It's like a
Okay.
wooden, yeah, so it's a wooden comb that you just squeeze and it's just about acupressure.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I actually listened to it on our previous podcast and I was like, I don't even know what she's talking about. Okay. I
Yeah.
think, is it comb she's saying or cone? This is obviously a contraption I'm unaware of. But yeah, okay.
Yes. And I was
Right.
tossing up whether I would like get it or not. And honestly, it was the best $5 I've ever spent because that's
So
the
do you
one
just
thing.
squeeze it in your hand?
Yeah, you squeeze in your hand
Oh.
because it kind of like takes the focus away from what's going on in labor and like the pain kind of more in your hands or like the
Oh,
the
okay.
sensation in your hands.
Yeah.
Um and yeah. And also I was supposed to go to my boss's 40th birthday on that day, but I messaged her at 10 a.m. and I was like, I've been having contractions all morning. Probably not great for me to come. Good thing I didn't because yeah, we were in the car for an hour and I was holding onto that comb whenever I got a contraction, but yeah, like 10, 15 minutes in, it just died down. I was getting like really mild contractions. Um, because the worst part is like, the South Bank exit, like
Yeah.
trying to get off there was just
That would have
insane.
been horrendous. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was fun. Um, but it was kind of nice because um I was getting like a little bit emotional for the whole fact of like, oh my God, this is actually happening. Like,
Yeah, I was just
um,
gonna say, how were you guys in the car? Were you guys calm? Was Ryan a bit stressed?
Ryan
Trying to
was
get,
so calm. He was so calm the
really?
whole time.
Oh, that's
Um,
amazing. Because I reckon
and
Paul would have been a stress head with traffic. He does not like traffic at the best of times. So,
yeah, no, it was he was so calm, which was exactly what I needed. Yeah,
yeah,
because there were a few moments where I would get like emotional, be like, it's all good, just let it out, let it all out. Um, and yeah, my contractions like stopped enough that he didn't even drop me off at like the emergency like drop off thing.
right.
We just parked and walked to
I
the
just walked
hospital.
in. Why not?
Just walked in. And then yeah, checked into triage and um then they just kind of like put you in a little room to wait. And during that time I took those drops again because I was like, the last thing I want is to get into hospital and they're like, oh, your labor's not progressing. Um, so yeah, I took the drops again and they checked me and I was 4 centimeters dilated, which I was pretty happy about.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
amazing. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. And I was so like nervous about getting checked
Yeah,
because I had heard like friends explain it as like, oh, they don't just stick a finger in, they stick a whole hand in. And I
yeah,
was like, oh my God. Um, but no, like when she did it, I was like, oh, was that all? It like literally just felt like a pap smear.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is nothing. I can deal with this. But I was like I was in that room for an hour and they had me like strapped up to the monitor so they could like listen to his heartbeat. And he's just fallen asleep on my boob. Um, and they had me like lying on the bed. I was like, screw this. I am not doing contractions on my back. This is just no, the hard no. So like could stand up and like move side to side when the
Yeah.
contractions came. And they finally came in and had the birth suite and they had a birth suite with a bath, which was
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm so happy that you got that. You manifested that. We did it on the Lionsgate portal.
I
Like,
know, right? Especially, yeah, because they only have like 4 rooms that have a bath. So it
yeah.
was the first thing we did. I was like, I went to Ryan. I was like, we forgot to mention that I want a water bath. Go tell them. So we went up to the nurses and like, oh, just hoping that there's a room. Um, and yeah, they were filling up the bath already for me. So I was like, oh, well,
Oh,
that's a good
amazing.
sign.
Amazing.
Um, yeah, so went into the room and like things really started to like ramp up then. Yeah, it's like as soon as I went into the room, I was like, right, this is happening. Um,
I wonder if your body relaxed because you were there. It was like maybe it's like a thing where you're like, oh, I'm here now. Like, and I mean, obviously it's him as well, right?
he
So,
wasn't waiting. He was not waiting, Rachel. I had a really, really fast labor.
oh,
Um, yeah, so got in and like half of the even things that I learned in the calm birthing class, like the exercises and stuff, I didn't even do. So yeah, like did a few like swaying again, and then obviously like, emotions came up again, so just let it all out. And then my wife was like, "Oh, okay, you can get into the bath now," and I was like, "I don't want to get in too soon," so I was just like moving around and I'd like sit on the toilet because I'd heard in another podcast the toilet is the dilation station. So I was
oh,
like
okay.
sitting backwards on the toilet for a bit and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into the bath. Oh, it felt so good getting into the bath. It's like this like weight kind of gets lifted off you and it's just really calming in the water. So I was probably in the
Yeah.
bath for what do you reckon like an hour I was in the bath for, babe? Yeah. Um yeah,
Water
about an
is
hour hey.
water is so healing and calming. Like,
hmm
yeah.
Yeah, and that's when things like really started to increase was when I was in the bath and I was just on all fours in the bath and I was latching onto that comb. And then whenever a contraction would come, I'd be like, give me the comb.
This was your favorite tool, the comb for
I
labor?
used it throughout my whole labor. It was
Oh,
like the
wow.
one thing I did not let that thing out of my sight. It was so good. Especially that I wasn't even sure I was going to get it. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did. Um, yeah, and that's when like yeah, I started making like more noises. It wasn't just me focusing on my breathing. Yeah. So I was doing that and then
Can I ask, did you feel at any point that you got animalistic or
oh
out
yeah.
of body? Yeah, I was like
Oh
dying to
yes.
ask that. I'm like, I can imagine you being like full animalistic. I don't know why, but yeah.
Ryan has heard noises come out of me I don't think he's ever heard were possible.
Oh my God. What?
Uh, yeah, so I think I was in the bath for an hour and that's yeah, it was getting pretty intense and the contractions were coming like I swear what felt like every 10 seconds. I don't know.
Oh,
Time was like not even a concept then. And it was actually fine because of the breaks in between, but there were a few contractions where it wouldn't completely go away. And so I didn't really have a rest. And that's what I
yeah,
was worried about. I was like, oh, like if I don't get these rests in between the contractions, I don't actually think I'd be able to cope. But
yeah,
it was those breaks in between that I was just like, okay, I can do then another one. I can do the next
yeah,
one, right? I can do one more. Um, and then I was like, okay, I want to know like how dilated I am. So we got out of the bath and back onto the bed, and oh, contractions lying down was the worst thing ever. I honestly don't know how women birth on their back. It was just the most excruciating pain. And she checked me and I was 7 centimeters dilated and I was so disheartened. I was like, no,
oh,
I have to go through this. And I think that was only we were only an hour into active labor.
oh,
um, and so then I decided to get into the shower. because when I was in the bath, she started like putting water on my back, and I was like, oh my God, this feels amazing. But they didn't have a hose. Um, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go into the shower, and Ryan held the hose on my back, and it was just instant relief.
Yeah.
Um, Still have my birth comb in my hand, and they have like bars, like I don't know, like those disability type bars in the shower.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like holding on to that, and that was really good because I was able to like hold on to it, squat down whenever a contraction came, and that's when I started getting the urge to push, and
Oh,
it is like
wow.
the weirdest sensation. To,
Is it?
yeah, because it's like it's literally feels like you're pushing out a poo. Like,
Well, that's what I've heard. I was gonna say, everyone says it feels like you're doing a poo, right?
yes, literally. And I shit myself so many times. Oh, but I was like at that point where like I just don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm butt naked. The
Yeah.
midwife is wiping my butt from poo. Like, um, and I just did not give a damn anymore. I was like, whatever, all inhibitions are gone.
Yeah.
Um, and when I started getting, yeah, the urge to push, it was, they were like, okay, just focus on your breathing. And I was like, I can't focus on my breathing anymore. Like, um, this is a real deal. And it was weird because it was like this pushing sensation was like relieving at the same time because
Mhm.
I would like it felt like doing like a really good poo. Like the
Yeah.
relief that you get. It's like the satisfying feeling, but then also like the pain of it as well. Um and yeah, when I started getting like the pushing sensation, that's when she was like, okay, we need to check you again just to make sure you actually are dilated
I
enough
was
and
just
like
gonna say, they normally check again, so I was gonna ask, did they see how
yeah,
many meters you're dilated at that point?
I was 9 centimeters dilated. So yeah, and all this time like it's just the midwife and I'm like, where's the obstetrician? Like, where is she?
I don't
Um,
I don't mean to bag obstetricians, but from podcasts and all the research and things that I've learned, midwives can do it all. Like, honestly, you don't need an obstetrician. They're amazing. Like, they've got all the skills.
well, the obstetrician doesn't come in until the very end of when you're actually pushing out
Yeah.
the baby, unless there's complications. Um, but yeah, so she came, I think, oh, yeah, it must have been, I was 9 centimeters dilated, and that's when I started like getting the urge to push, and that's when my waters broke. And that
Oh,
was the weirdest thing ever. It was literally like a movie. I was in the shower holding on to the bars. Ryan's like got the water on my back. And then I like have a contraction and I start like the urge to push. And then it's like this big burst of water just hit the wall, like what you see in the movies of like, and I was like, okay, that's my waters. And Ryan was like, what? Because it didn't shoot down. It literally shoot diagonally towards the wall.
oh my God.
Um, yeah, so because I always heard, oh, that's not a real thing. Like usually it's just a trickle, and here I'm just like bang, water hose. And then yeah, like I read the notes afterwards, and that was an hour and a half before I birthed him,
The
which
waters.
the waters broke, yeah, which means like I would have started having to like having that sensation to push an hour and a half before having him. And that's when they
Yeah.
were like, okay, just focus on your breathing, focus on your breathing. And I'm like, and they're like, you try not to push. And I'm like, I can't help it. Like my body is wanting me to push.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, so she checked me. I was 9 centimeters dilated, and she said, "Oh, look, I think Bub's head is in a odd position." Like it's
Mm.
like kind of tilted a different way or something. And that's when I was just like, oh gosh, no, like this can't be happening. And so she's like, okay, let's just lunge, like do a lunge because that will probably help Bub get into the right position. So I was in the shower again, had one leg up on a chair, the other on the floor, and that worked. It helped turn him pretty quickly.
Oh, that's
And
good.
like, yeah, time just completely just does not even mean a thing to me, really, just looking back, because to me, my waters broke, and then like next minute I'm pushing him out. But then when I read the notes, it's like there's an hour and a half gap in between that.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I was lunging, and then the obstetrician came in, and I was like, oh, thank God. And they're like, okay, so do you want to get back in the bath or do you want to stay here? I'm like, I'm staying here. I'm not moving. Like,
Love
this
the
is,
shout.
I'm loving the shower. I'm not moving. And that's how I birthed him. I birthed him lunging on a chair in the shower.
Wow,
Um,
that sounds super impressive.
yeah, so
Did
I
you
think I
have
was
an out
like,
of body experience like
no,
between? You didn't? Okay.
no,
Because
no.
some women have said that they just go, they feel like they're just not even there. They have like this moment where they don't remember things because they're so like out of it. And I just wondered if you'd had that at all. No.
Um, I mean, I could have definitely, because there are moments where Ryan was like has told me some things and I'm like, I don't remember that. Like he said to me, he was really worried at one point because I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, I don't remember saying that. I remember being in
Mm.
so in my head being like, right, I can do this, just keep breathing, just keep breathing.
Yeah.
Um, so there were probably definitely moments where I was just like so in it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was like an out of body experience, but I was definitely just so in it, so like focused on my body.
Yeah.
Um, that yeah, I just probably zoned out with a lot of things that was going on. Um,
Understandably, you know.
yeah. And when I was pushing him, I don't know how many pushes, maybe like 3 or 4 pushes, but they were the
Really?
hardest things ever. And that's when I was really animalistic. Like the next day, my throat was so sore and so raspy because I had just been like, yeah, it wasn't screaming. It was like definitely this animalistic, like kind of roaring noise that I was making. Um, and yeah, all breathing techniques went completely out the window. I mean, I was still like breathing, but instead of like breathing out, I was just making these noises, and it just really helped me to um, push him out. The hardest thing was when he was crowning and you're in between contractions, and they're like, okay, just like breathe through it. We're gonna wait for the next contraction. And I'm just here like,
Ring of Fire is here.
I mean, I don't remember like a full on ring of fire. I do remember a bit of burning, but I don't remember that much of it. I just remember him, yeah, crowning and being like, oh my God, this is like next level, trying to control my body and breathe and make sure I'm not pushing too hard. And by the next
Yeah.
one, his head was out. It was actually
Wow.
really cool before he crowned. They're like, oh, if you stick your finger up there, you can probably feel the head. And I did. I was like, oh my God, I feel the head.
Oh,
And then yeah, so the next push, the obstetrician pulled him out. He had the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck, but they weren't
right.
concerned by that at all. They were just like, oh, just hang on before we pull you up. We'll just take the cord off you. Um, and then they pulled him through my legs onto my chest, and that's when I just like completely lost it. I was just like a blubbering mess of like, oh my God, I
Oh,
can't believe I did this. I've got my baby. Oh my God, I've got a baby. Like all the emotions
yeah.
just came out.
So
um
who announced that gender to you?
well, I had him on my chest, and they put like, yeah, they put a towel on me, and I was just so swept up with everything. And the midwife and obstetrician were like, what did you have? And I was like, oh yeah. So Ryan announced it, so he had a look and he announced it. But it's really funny because when they
Oh,
passed him through my legs, I felt what felt like a scrotum, and I was like, I feel like this could be a boy. But
Yeah.
it was like one of those moments where I was just like so caught up with it that I like noticed the sensation and then I was like, okay, whatever. But when they said, oh, it's a boy, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Um, and
Oh, that's so beautiful.
yeah, it was insane, insane because to me it felt like forever, the whole process. But my active labor went for 3.5 hours, and the average for a first time birth is 12 hours.
Yeah, wow.
So it was very intense. He definitely wasn't waiting because he was born at 39 weeks and 5 days, and then yeah, 3.5 hours active labor. Um, he definitely wanted to be here Earthside.
And what was his weight?
3.65.
Oh,
So yeah,
I've
a nice weight. Looking back, it's just like crazy how it all happened, and I'm just so in awe of my body and my mind because
yeah.
I have no idea how I did that without any pain relief at all.
That
Um,
is so amazing. You should be so proud. Like, I know that you're like this super strong, determined woman, and it was going to be whatever you wanted it to be, and you did it.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they offered me gas because on my birth plan, I was like, I don't want to be offered epidural. I don't want to be offered all this
Yeah.
other stuff. So they don't offer it to you. Um, so I was offered the gas and I was like, no, I don't want to take it because I didn't want to risk it making me feel nauseous.
Yeah, I've heard
And
that.
I was like, that's just the last thing that I want with these intense contractions,
Yeah.
um, to then feel nauseous. So I was just like, no, I'm just going to focus on my mindset and yeah, just being
Well, you
like,
didn't
okay,
vomit or anything?
no,
Wow.
no.
I have this really bad habit when I'm in pain. I've had like a birth cyst on my ovaries, and when I was had that physical pain, they reckon it's worse than childbirth. It was excruciating. I was just vomiting from the pain.
I
And
honestly can't imagine anything more excruciating than what I went through. So,
yeah, well, and I'm surprised. I mean, everyone's body's different and you cope with pain differently, but it sounds like the comb was such a really good tool to take your mind to another place or your body, your focus to another place on your body. Like that
yes,
sounds like.
yeah, that honestly was a saving grace for me. And there was like, so when the midwife checked me the third time, um, that was a pain like I could not even imagine. I actually had to tell her to stop. I was like, this is too painful. Please stop. And I think I
Yeah.
was like even like whimpering
Oh,
at how painful it was. Um, and I know it was really hard for Ryan to see me in that much pain
yeah.
and just not being able to do anything. But he
Hmm.
was just like kept feeding me water and like feeding me bliss balls. And he's like, keep your energy up, keep your hydration up. Um, so yeah, but then um they're like, okay, what do you want to do with the placenta? Do you want to birth it like naturally? I was like, just give me the injection. Just give it to me. I'm done. I was so exhausted. The only thing I can like describe it as is like, when you've got gastro and you are just so drained and so
Yeah.
exhausted and you just can't move. That's how I felt. And I was like, there is no way that I am going to or that I want to even just like, wait for however long it takes and then have to go
Yeah.
through all the contractions again. So I was like, just give me the I think it's like Syntocin or something like that
Does
for
that
the
just have to come out straight away?
yeah. So they just put the needle in your leg and then it literally comes out within like 5 minutes.
Oh,
So
that's amazing.
yeah, yeah. And that was something that I was open to. I did
Yeah.
ideally want to birth it naturally, but I was also like it also depends on what my birth was like,
Yeah.
how everything went. And yeah, I was just so exhausted. I was like, yeah, just give me the injection.
Give me the drugs.
Yeah. And then I had second degree tearing.
Oh.
So, which I think was just also because he just came out so fast.
Hmm.
So, so I got stitching done for that, and she's like, "Okay, so I'm going to like inject like an anesthetic. Do you want the gas?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yes, give me the gas." So here I was just like, in hindsight, like, okay, so I just birthed him, and a pain that I just can't even comprehend. But then I was already numb, and I was like, "Give me the gas."
But you're being a, when you think about it, you're just being a really protective mum. You're like, I've got him out and I've done it all without anything, which I think was your main focus and priority,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
that was
then
my main
as
focus.
soon as he's out, you're like, okay, he's not getting any of this. I can take all the stuff to help me cope with the last bit. And that's totally fine. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think also because once you've like birthed, your mindset and everything just like shifts. Like it's like you're out of it. You're like, okay, like I'm in a different state now.
Yeah.
And so my pain threshold was different as well. So yeah. So that's about little guy.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't too, it doesn't sound too traumatic.
It wasn't traumatizing at all. It
Yeah.
was like I look back and I'm just like, I don't think there's anything that I wouldn't change or that I
Yeah.
would change with the birth. Like it all just worked out so perfectly.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it would have been nice now in hindsight, knowing that how quick the labor was made it also really, really intense. So I'm
Mhm.
sure if it was a longer labor, it wouldn't be as intense.
Yeah.
Um, but it is what it is. He just wanted to come out.
Yeah.
But it's also funny because I would always, like every morning, we'd go for our morning walk and we'd like say what we're grateful for. And I'd be like, I'm so grateful for a 4 hour active labor. Be careful
Yeah.
what you wish for. um, yeah, so yeah.
And you've been settling in with life really easily by the sounds of it with him.
Yeah, so we had 3 nights in the hospital. It kind of worked out to be about 4 nights really because he was born at 11:30 at night. And then by the time, you've got your golden hour, they do like skin to skin and like got stitched up and then there's all this paperwork that the midwives have to do as well. Um, so we didn't leave the birth suite until I think 2 a.m.
Wow.
And went up into the room. So that wasn't classified as a night, so it was kind of nice that we had like that
Yeah.
extra like night. Although by the time I like got settled into the room and then I fed him again and everything, I think it was like 4:30 in the morning that I got to sleep. But honestly, I could not fault the martyr at all. They were
Yeah.
incredible. The midwives were just absolutely incredible, and it was actually really nice to have um, somebody there knowing that if there's any issues at all, you just hit the button and somebody will just
Yeah.
come straight in, which I know you just wouldn't get in a home birth.
Hmm.
Um, and then obviously just being able to like order meals and um, we learn a lot of things as well. Like the midwives were showing us different ways of breastfeeding and like like lying down to breastfeed. That one's like been a savior a few times when all he wants to do is just like be on me, but I also just
Yeah.
want to sleep.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously I can't sleep as deeply because I'm very conscious that he's right next to me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the midwives are just were amazing and they had volunteers coming in giving me like foot massages. I was like, this
Oh,
is
wow.
amazing. Yeah. So good. Um and yeah, so the first night was a bit like both of us were a little bit anxious because obviously we'd had that support for the past couple of nights and then you got nobody and so like there was some anxiety that came up for me where I was like what if something happens in the middle of the night and we don't have someone? And like, I'm literally checking on him every like 5 minutes, making sure, are you breathing? Are you breathing? Um, but yeah, we're definitely starting to get the hang of things, and he's such a chill baby. We are so, so lucky with him just loving his sleep. And
Yeah.
he was really sleepy in the hospital. Like, I'd actually have to wake him after 4 hours and be like, dude, you need to feed. Like, wake up. Or be falling asleep when I'm feeding him.
Yeah.
Um, but he does have like a little bit of jaundice, so that also makes them sleepy as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but no, he is the cutest little thing ever. With his little chubby cheeks.
Oh, amazing.
Little guinea pig noises that he makes when he's sleeping.
Oh. Yeah, they make the cutest little like sounds. Like I can't think how to describe them, but
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, I'm so damn proud of my body and my mind, and just that was absolutely the hardest thing that I have ever done. And yeah, I'm really proud of absolutely my mindset of just being like,
yeah.
yeah, like I don't remember doubting myself at all, just being like, and not being like, I can't do this. Um, but then obviously that's not right because Ryan remembers something different. But I have also heard that when you get to the point of being like, I can't do this anymore, that's like that transition of like,
It
okay, it's
is.
almost
Yeah.
over. So I feel like it was at that point that that happened. Um, and yeah, that was like I think I was just I'm so strong-minded. I was like, I don't want an epidural. Like this is not
Mhm.
happening. I don't feel like I need it.
Yeah.
Um, obviously, if circumstances were different, then maybe it would have been helpful. But yeah,
Oh, amazing.
yeah. So now we're just like settling into life, and there's no routine at all because we're still kind of like feeding on demand. And
Yeah.
can you hear that? It's just making all these little
I
noises.
can. They're the cutest noises. That's the ones I was imagining in my head, but I was like, I can't describe it. I just,
Yeah.
everyone surely knows what baby noises are.
Yeah. Oh, hello. His eyes are open. Hello, gorgeous. So yes, we'll
Oh,
see
thank you for
what the
sharing all
next.
your birth story. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, it feels really good to share it, and it's also nice as well to then like document it as well because
I think so, because
you
you
know,
might forget it as time
yeah,
goes on.
all
Yeah.
those little things that happened. Um, yeah, and I'm just also in awe of Ryan and how supportive he was throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing as well. So, because I know it would have been really hard for him to see how much pain I was in,
I think
especially
it's,
because I do have a high pain threshold.
yeah.
Um, and so he knows that like when I'm in pain, it's bad. So, yeah.
It's so emotional for dads, and they feel helpless, and all they want to do is protect you and look after you. And yeah, I think it's pretty natural, but you guys
Yeah.
did it. And it's obviously not put you off a second because it was such a great experience. So, how good is that?
Well, I mean, I did message my friend afterwards who has had four boys, and I was like, I don't know how you've done this four times. Like, honestly, the next day I was like, nope, 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 this is a hard no, not happening.
Just one child for now, maybe? We'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see
yeah.
what comes. Hey?
But now I'm like, okay, um, I could definitely do it again for the whole fact of, you get a beautiful baby at the end.
Yeah.
And being the second time, they say it's easier.
It's
Because obviously your body's done it before, it's already made room.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll see.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to Chantel's amazing birth story. She is just superwoman. So good to hear. And I'm so happy that Grayson is here and he's all happy and healthy and beautiful.
Yes, I definitely feel like Superwoman after that.
So you should.
Yes. But you've been listening to the Reconnected Woman podcast, and you will find us on all places that you can listen to podcasts. And we'd
Yeah.
very much appreciate it if you would review us or write a review and
Yes.
rate us. Pregnant. Oh, not. I can't even say pregnancy brain anymore. Newborn brain,
That's it. It's okay.
which
Well,
is definitely a thing. There are so many times where I've like put something somewhere and then I said to Ryan, I'm like, did you move that? He's like, no, you did. I'm like, I don't remember doing that. Like, which I thought would happen in pregnancy, but no, it's definitely happened now. So
fun.
yes. Anyways, we will see you in the next episode.
Yeah, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.